That's our peak. Wow. In this episode of the Burb Files, we finally fix our speedometer once and for all. And we're also going to see if we can fix the temperature selector switch to where when we put it on max air conditioning, all the vents work instead of it just pouring out of the floor. Stay tuned. So we got the dash out and we got the temperature control unit out of the vehicle as well. I'm gonna take everything off of the back here for the selector. It actually operates a motor that doesn't come out of the truck. Well, or it activates a solenoid, I guess, which moves a motor. So this is pretty crusty. I got a new one here from LMC Truck. So I'm just gonna clean everything, move it over to that one, and hopefully this solves our issue. At least, if it doesn't, I'll know that this portion of it probably isn't the cause. Maybe it's that little relay servo that controls the motors and or a motor itself. So we're gonna get to that. Saw me try to wrangle this dash out. Finally made it come out. The little strips here I gotta flatten out and put back in there. I don't know if it got caught on the plug when I pulled it out, but as you can see, there it is. Now, one thing I've noticed is that any of the bulbs that are twisting that have these double or split, these are indicators. So fasten seatbelt, oil light, whatever. So all these outside ones are your instrument cluster lights, which we will be replacing whether they need it or not, because these things are like super, super, super dark. They barely even work. So we're gonna do that. Now, this is our speedometer. Obviously that's not working. It's been on 272 trip miles for a while. So we're gonna take that out and we're gonna do some measurements, and then we're gonna see about getting our new speedometer in. So stick around for that. Got the new speedometer opened up. I got this. It is customized. I got this from Speedhut. This is a GPS receiver style speedometer. I'll put the link in the description below. Comes with a GPS receiver. This is for the lighting. That is a inverter. It says the inverter is required for gauge dial lighting. Comes with the pigtail for the power, which is right here. Inverter, GPS antenna, and then this. Now, the reason why I went with the GPS speedometer instead of sourcing an NOS part like this is that the NOS parts that I found were roughly 275 to 400 bucks, depending on where you got it from for an NOS part. And there's no guarantee that it's gonna work. They're like, oh, it's tested. And you put it in a car, tested it, and took it back out. I doubt it. But the reason why I went with the, quote, domed lens is I wanted the ability to have a remote button for the gauge. Now, the remote button for the gauge plugs into the back, like so. And what that's gonna allow us to do is toggle through the menu. Now, you could see the height difference between the two. This is obviously much smaller. It uses a stepper motor. And I'm gonna see if I can actually fit this into the original spot on the dash. I know I'm going to lose my high beam indicator, and I know I'm going to lose my fasten seatbelt and service engine soon portion of the dash as well. Doesn't really concern me. So the beauty part about this is there's a 12 volt always on light, or cable rather, and the constant power for this will allow it to kind of hold its last GPS spot, and it'll start up a lot sooner. So I think they say within two to 5 seconds, something like that. Here you can see that step through the menus and everything with this button, which, you know, I'm gonna look to see if I can't get that into the dash somehow. There actually is a spot where this might actually fit already, but we shall see. I might even have to figure it out. I'll figure something out. So, beauty part about this is that it's got a locking ring, and then the bezel for the glass comes off. And this is a pretty sturdy piece of plastic. Might actually even be glass. So I'm hoping to mount this behind the original. So what I did was I measured out 4 inches inside of the gauge, looking through the bezel. That way, hopefully, with everything on, it'll kind of look a little bit like that. You won't see too much of a gap. So we're gonna see if we can fit this into the original spot. So I said we were going to dump the standard bulbs. These happen to be a 168. I'm going to put these LEDs in there. I usually get my LEDs from superbrightleds.com. These are far more expensive than a bulb, whereas these are probably around $5 a piece, but they're way brighter and they'll last, I don't know, way longer. These are 360-degree beam, and they're 5 LED. I got them in color cool. They seem to be the brightest. These are the push-in style. And that's it. We'll do it for all 5, and then we're gonna get to installing this. All right, so we got it all back together. I think it came out pretty good. We're gonna have to put all this back together and then get it back into the vehicle. The only thing I did have to do is I had to put the GPS receiver on first. That way I could kind of glue it where it would be, you know, hold itself down So I think I have enough room to scoot this in and up onto the dash. I think I'm gonna put it right next to where the VIN number goes. So more to come.
Thinking about you, well, I'm tired of waiting. Sick and tired of the things you do and all the things you say. Here you are staying out all night. This is your last morning. You're in store for a hell of a fight. You're not back by morning. All my life, wanting things to be alright. I'm right here and you are out all night. Sick of staring at the telephone, it's just not ringing. Sick of staying home all alone, my tears keep stinging. Here I am counting cracks on the wall when I should be sleeping. A damn pillow won't break your fall when your back comes ringing. All my life, wanting things to be alright. I'm right here and you are out all night. Everything I do for you, and you know it. If you love me like you say you do, why can't you show it?
Stop playing with the freaking radio and just get the job done.
All right, we're about to go for the maiden voyage. So let's see how fast it acquires now that we've had the car running for a while and it acquired its GPS. Oh, look at that. It's already there. Already there. So I'm just gonna put this here. We'll go for our maiden voyage. Hold on. That's our peak. Wow. Pretty cool. So there you have it. Now we have our custom speed hut speedometer in the original spot, and it works.